Good morning, everybody. This is Levi from Masculine Intuition Readings, and today, it barely fits on the screen, damn it. I am going to review the Lumina Tarot by Lauren Aletta, and this is the mass market French edition that not a lot of people know about. Now, I hear you think, a French edition, what am I gonna do with that? Quite a lot, frankly, because you don't actually need to speak French in order to be able to read a French deck. Now, there's quite a story behind this deck because this is a very popular indie deck. However, it's really expensive and it's shipped from Australia. Now, there is nothing wrong with Australia. I love my Aussie people, but lately, the rumor mill's kind of going round, and it's become clear that the quality of the indie deck has become subpar. So when I saw this on Amazon, I was just Googling the deck, and all of a sudden I saw that this was on Amazon, amazon.fr, for the price of 32 euros, which is really cheap for a set like this. I was like, I've been wanting this deck for ages. I've been waiting for this deck for ages, and it's always been super expensive. Let's get it. So obviously I've already taken the cards out of the box because I really want to do like an extensive little walkthrough. So this video is gonna take a while, so bear with me. But what's in the box? Well, you get this lovely... People talk about this deck kind of as a more peoply version of the Wild Unknown. Well, it kind of is, because even this mass market edition, this box, which is infinitely better than the indie box, may I add, looks exactly like the Wild Unknown. It has that ribbon, it has the guidebook, and the guidebook is in French. Like, I am not able to read this. My French isn't that good. I can make out a couple of things, but the quality of the guidebook is pretty great, actually. This is published by Arcana Sacra, and they seem to be doing a lot of like weird things with like where they do French editions of indie decks. I think they also did the Light Seers in French. I think they did the Inner Star Oracle in French. So French people will get like great deals because they get to buy all these cool indie decks in their native language for a steal and with great quality. And then, of course, you see nothing here because I've already taken it out. So let me put this box aside again. Then inside you get, just like the Wild Unknown, the smaller keepsake box that I'll be using the most because I'll be storing the big box somewhere. Now, this box looks gorgeous. I mean, look at that. The illustrations are on it. And then when you open it up, there's nothing inside because I've already taken the deck out. But there's also like a lot of illustrations right here. Like, how cute does this look? Like, damn. And then the lovely like purple pinkish ribbon inside. So this is seriously a good quality set. Now, I've divided the deck into all of its suits, so what I kind of want to do is go through the major arcana, dive into the symbolism that I see. Now, I may miss some things. I'm not perfect. I have been reading for a while, but, you know, you guys may notice other little tidbits that I haven't seen. But before we get into the actual cards, I kind of want to put in my 2 cents on the cardstock. I've seen people online kind of bitching about this cardstock. This is actually a really good mass market cardstock. People that are bitching about this, they are deluded and living in a fantasy world, because for a mass market deck, this cardstock is absolutely amazing, and it's probably even better quality cardstock than the last indie edition. I saw a video by Pappa Squirrel. I will probably link that in the box below, where you can see the quality of the last indie edition that he got, and I wish he would have gotten this because this is infinitely better. Let's see. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit and then we'll actually do like a little flip through. So let's do it. Okay, let's see if this focuses. It does. Oh, that's so great. So we start off with the Fool, and yeah, I just really love it. This is such a gorgeous Fool image. There's a ton of symbolism in there. The wild and free feeling that I get is insane. I love this Fool, and I love indeed that wild unknown-esque style, but I like it with more people in it. I love people in my decks, not all the time, but sometimes I do. And yeah, I really love the colors. Like, look at how they pop. It's actually really good quality. Then we get into the Magician, who's quite sexy, if I may say so. I mean, look at him. He looks really good. And all the necessary symbolism is there. She also included like the no, I'm gonna mess this up because I just woke up, but like the zodiac symbolism and the alchemical symbolism I think is all there, but I'm not gonna point all of that out because I'm gonna look like a fool. What I also love about this deck, I don't know if you can see, is the font. I love that font, and yeah, I want to see if I can get that too for my own work because I just love it. Then we have the High Priestess card, and this is a card that I don't really feel. I think her face looks a little off. I don't know why, and I don't really get why there is a mirror image. So this is one of those cards where I was kind of like, yeah, I wish I could read the guidebook in French for the reasoning behind this of the author. So yeah. But nevertheless, I mean, it looks cool. I love the like geometric shapes she added. Then we head towards the Empress. Surrounded by nature, lots of like good naturey colors. We have the bee, which is of course all about building, growth, expansion of the bee kingdom. So a lovely card. Then we have the Emperor. I think this is a really cool Emperor. There's a lot of negative space right here, but I think that is also because the Emperor doesn't need too many frivolous things on the card. I think the Emperor likes that literal box he's trapped or not trapped in or ruling over. His scepter with the Ankh, the Aries symbol, and he really like legit looks like a dad. So that's a really cool card. Oh, one of my favorites, the Hierophant with Metatron's cube, that skull. You really give me that shaman vibe. I really love that. So yeah. The Lovers, which is really interesting. I don't necessarily get the symbolism behind the card. Well, I mean, it could make some shit up, but what I see in this is very much that, you know, that frivolous chase, choosing to chase after something, making a choice to do so, but these two wolves are almost in a perpetual chase. Maybe I'm missing something here. If I am, please don't laugh at me, but let me know in the comments. Then we have the Chariot, lovely triple goddess symbol. Don't really know why that is, but nevertheless, work, really looks good. It gives it a pop of color right there. I love the horses, the speed at which they're coming at us, really great. And honestly, like, I really dislike the regular Chariot where it's literally a dude in a chariot with the sphinxes that don't really usually look too evocative. I really like the velocity that this card shows us right here, this illustration. Love that. La Justice, justice in number 8, where it belongs, because, you know, tradition and shit. Gorgeous illustration, a little dark, but then again, justice isn't all about that love and light, and that's another thing that I really like about this creator. She's not afraid to shy away from the darker stuff. We have the Hermit, not my favorite card in the deck, but it is nice that it, you know, like adds some color, because we've had a couple of like more like darker cards now. So, I mean, this is nice. It's cute. Is it my favorite Hermit ever? No. And usually the Hermit is one of my favorite cards. The Wheel of Fortune, I really like this. We kind of see like the moon and the sun, or is it the earth and the sun? I don't know. But we kind of see that cycle going on, so the symbolism is spot on. Love it. Strength, kind of traditional, but lovely watercolor work. Look at that. Really, really good. Really pretty. One of my favorites, the Hangman. And what I love, let me turn this upside down a little bit, is that the figure, the figure himself is really like kind of gender fluid, so it's really ambiguous whether it's actually a man or a woman, which I love. I want to see more of that in decks. Like, well, that's not completely true. I want to see more masculine energy in decks, but then again, like with cards like the Hangman, it's really cool to have, like, I don't know, I like to have some sexually ambiguous people in my decks. Some more androgynous people. Love it. A lot of symbolism here. Don't mistake this deck for another pretty art deck. This must have been made by a tarot lover. I'm not too like familiar with the creator, but this is really good. Really good illustration. And I don't know if these colors are picking up, but look at that. Look at that. Love it. Love it. Death. Pretty classic death type card for a modern deck, but it's really nice, you know. Have we seen this 1,000 times in most like modern indie decks? Yes. Really pretty. Temperance, yes, love this very much. That fire energy right here turning into water energy right here, turning into fire energy. Like, temperance is not literally about temperance. I don't know why or when. I think temperance has also always been temperance, but in the sense of the tarot, it's very much about temperance within alchemy, not necessarily temperance within life in general. But it's very much, this card is very much about alchemy, very much about you know, all that. So yeah, I love that that's very clear here, and it's not just some random angel with 2 cups, water flowing a little strangely. No, this girl right here is literally turning fire into water and vice versa. So great work. The Devil is really cool because it makes you look. Because this is actually a bison. You can kind of see the horns here. And while I love it, there's not a lot of symbolism in that for me, or maybe I'm missing something. But pretty cool card nevertheless. The Tower, one of my favorites. Like that cairn, I think it's called a cairn, that pile of rocks, that bird flying off as thunder strikes in. Brilliant. The Star, not one of my favorite cards ever. I mean, it's a bunch of stars. Okay, cute. The Moon looks really good. Symbolism wise, would have liked to have seen a little bit more. She does look a little bit startled. The Moon to me is very much about fears and dreams and illusions, so she kind of looks a little bit mysterious and a little bit like startled. So yeah, I guess that's there. And then all of a sudden the style kind of changes for the Sun, which I love. Because the hands are very clear. Like up till now, most illustrations have been a little like ink and sketches and cute. This is like really good, like realistic artwork, and then really like intense saturated color work. So that's really cool. Even though it's kind of a deviation, it really still fits in with the deck. Then we have Judgment. The Eclipse, you know, everything's gonna change after this has happened. The magic of the eclipse, what's waiting behind the eclipse. Really interesting symbolism. And then the World, once again, with like a moth, Like, this is interesting. I think most elements are in here, but I would like to know what the creator has said about this in the guidebook. So far, we only have 2 cards that I kind of want to see the guidebook for, which is the High Priestess and the World. But nevertheless, great deck. Now let's move on to the suits. I'm going to go through those a little bit quicker, but still, really pretty deck. So we have the cups here, gorgeous line work, really good. It is very pippish, but there is totally symbolism in there if you're familiar with animal symbolism. But nevertheless, even the placement of the cups, like this is totally like that stability of the Emperor. The 5s are all pretty dark. I'm not going to delve into it too much, otherwise this video is going to become endless, but yeah, this is great. Really good stuff right here. Really good stuff. Now for the quartz, we have the Demoiselle, which would kind of translate into the Princess. We have the Chevalier, which is the Knight. Love this image. Love it, love it, love it. We have the Queen, and we have the King, and this King looks a little like David Beckham, and I wonder why. So yeah, that was the suit of cups. Let me reorganize my desk a little bit, because you know, you don't see the mess that's around here, but it is messy, y'all. Okay, the Pentacles, one of my favorites, well, my favorite suit, because I am an earth sign. We have the Ace of Pentacles, gorgeous, once again. 2 of Pentacles, my favorite. 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. Love how she does the 5s. Like that rotten apple, dried out apple, gorgeous. 6 of Pentacles, lending a helping hand. Giving and receiving, balance. Some really good stuff. 8 of Pentacles, 9, and the 10. Look at that. I love that there. Then we have a really interesting thing going on right here. So we have the, and I wonder if we actually have that symbolism in the cups as well. Let me grab the cups real quick. Yeah, for the cups we had snakes. For the pentacles we have bears. So we have the Demoiselle, and the bear like grows up a little bit into the knight, and even more into the queen, and then we have a full-fledged grizzly for the king. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. This may also be like the knights, for some reason, really do it for me. So yeah, pretty great, and I love that transition feel, kind of, from like little cub into full-fledged bear. Now let's move on to the we've now done the passive energies, which is earth and water. Now let's move on to the active energies. We have the wands. Really pretty, really colorful, really great. 2 of wands, 3 of wands, 4 of wands. Really love that. 5. Once again, the 5s are very much like favorites. Like this is not just any pip deck. She really did great with the placements and the extra like little added illustration she added, and especially within the 5s. The 7, the 8, the 9, the 10. Look at all these like withered like branches right there. It's really, really good. It also seems like, I just want to point that out really quickly, that she has kind of studied her different schools of tarot, because this really reminds me of the 8 of Wands from the Thoth, you know, the swiftness card. So yeah, love the 10. Then we have the Demoiselle with the little fox. The Knight, once again, these Knights, woof. That galaxy cloak he's wearing, very cool. Fox gets a little bit bigger. The Queen could have used with a little more color maybe. And then the King, like very... And yeah, I mean, I could delve into the quartz. I could make a whole separate video about the quartz in this deck, because obviously, like, I'm gonna delve into it a little bit. This court is very eccentric. They're very bohemian, boho chic, whereas the Court of Pentacles, I mean, whatever, it's my video, I can do what I want, I'm gonna do it. The Court of Pentacles is way less that, I mean, a little bit, but way more practical. Like, I mean, she's a little boho chic, but, you know, he's very much out there in nature. She's very much like, you know, sitting pretty, but it's not as like creative, chic, hippie as this suit of wands. And then we have the cups right here. Where do we have the cups? I should not place them upside down. And the cups is way more like sensitive, less about, I mean, all these people are really pretty, but it's less about the prettiness and more about almost that introspection and inwardness. Like even this king, like they're not as flashy as the wands, not as flashy as the pentacles even, which makes sense because this is all about your emotions and what's within, and the wands is all about expressing outward, and the pentacles are all about is about abundance, but is a very receptive energy too. So it's nice that those nuances are there. Really great, really, really great. And then we're gonna go to our final suit. The Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, the Three. I love that there's not a heart here, but a rose, because Three of Swords is not about heartbreak at all, and people should stop interpreting it like that. Four of Swords, Five of Swords, once again, five's one of my favorites. The Six. This is such a gorgeous card. I know how difficult it is to create this because I've tried it before. Really, really good. Love it. Like, man, I could talk about the minors for ages too, but I'm not gonna do it. Eight of Swords, look at that. Look at that little mouse. Nine of Swords, great animal symbolism in here. I'm not gonna delve into it too much. 10 of Swords with that bird of prey. Love it, really good. Now we go into the court, so that's going to be interesting to see if my theory regarding the court symbolism kind of holds up. So we have the Demoiselle, we have the Chevalier, which is really cool as well. We have the Reine, and we have the Roi. Yeah, so this is also not very much about looking very flashy, looking very extravagant. I mean, all of them kind of look boho, but this is more like, look at me and look at what I can do. So we have the I think it's a hawk or a falcon. So we have the falcon here. She's obviously like almost sending that falcon our way, but is also still a little bit demure, so open to learning. Then we have the knight, who's very much, look at me, look what I know, look what I can do. I am in full control over this falcon, and I'm balancing on my hands and holding this sword between my like feet. Then we have the queen. This is a very young queen, may I add, but whatever. But she is holding that. Like, this is the first time we see a character actually holding the falcon and the sword. This is a bitch that's in total control of herself, and I love it. Also, like, she does have queen-like adornments, but they're not as prevalent as they were in the suit of wands and the suit of pentacles. Yeah, that was, we've already had those cards. And then we have the king. Now, this is a very, very, very stark king. No color at all. This eagle is hovering above him, or the falcon, or whatever it is. I'm not a birdologist, so whatever. And he's very stable. He has two swords, and he's like, hey, look at me. I'm like totally the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, and who are you to even look at me? Very, very strong, potent, intense energy. So yeah, that's pretty cool actually. I really am in love with this set. I'm really glad that I was able to add it to my collection. You can get it off Amazon.fr for $32, 32 euros. I think that translates roughly to 26 or 27 pounds. And honestly, it's really nice that we as Europeans can have something cheap too for once, because all of these American and Australian people are always getting all the nicest decks first, and it's actually pretty neat that we finally can like use this deck in an affordable way on good cardstock. So yeah, this has been a pretty long video, I know that, but yeah, I don't know, I have some free time now. So don't expect me to do these all the time, but I just love doing this and doing a little bit more of a deep dive. So thank you for listening. I hope you guys found this interesting, and bye bye.